Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway for opening night 2010 in the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series. At this time, we ask that each and every one of you please rise up from your seats, and gentlemen, remove your caps. If you are moving around the Speedway grounds, we ask that you pause with us momentarily as we begin tonight's racing action, as always, with an invocation from our good friends at the New Stanton United Methodist Church and Mr. Ray Kaiser, and the singing of our national anthem by Melissa Grimm.
Thank you, Mike. Welcome to opening night. Let's give thanks for all we have. Dear Lord, we lift you up and give you thanks, Lord, for your many blessings. We pray, Lord God, that we would consider all these things privileges, our freedom, the fact that we live in a country where we can do as we please and come and go as we please. Pray, Lord God, that you would watch over each of us tonight. Watch over the drivers, Lord God. Help keep them safe. Protect them from danger and from accidents, Lord. And Lord God, we don't want to forget the men and women that are serving in the military, helping to keep our country free. We pray, Lord God, that you would bless and protect each of them. We give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
8 laps the distance, and the first green flag of 2010 about to wave. Side by side out of turn 4, we're green and racing. Jeff Zellweger takes the early lead in car 18. Dink Colarusso now driving a Pontiac Grand Prix number 0. He is the owner and driver of this car and makes contact with the leader. Zellweger spins in front of the field. He collects Jason Holder. Great moves by Scott Aiello to avoid contact, and the caution flag will wave on our first attempted lap of 2010. Keep an eye on those two drivers. 74 Jason Holder, 03 Terry Schwartz. Green flag is out. Clean racing in row 2 between Zellweger and Colarusso, who caused the first caution flag of the season. Scott Aiello looked to be having a serious handling problem at the end of the back straight. Nevertheless, he is still the race leader, as behind him Dink Colarusso and Andrew Kostelnik go side by side. Defending champion Dink Colarusso in car 0, wheel to wheel with Andrew Kostelnik. Both drivers found their way to victory lane in 2009. But out front, Scott Aiello looking for a first checkered flag in the street stock division, holding off this field. Aiello isn't just holding off the field, he's blowing them away with 2 of 8 laps completed. Dink Colarusso in the 0 into second, completes the pass of Kostelnik, and does seem to be gaining on the race leader. Laps of 8 completed. Andrew Kostelnik doing some dirt track racing here on the paved Motordrome Speedway. He's all kinds of crossed up, but avoided hitting the inside retaining wall, stays on the gas. Green flag is still out. Up front, Scott Aiello sees the crossed flags indicating halfway through heat race number 1 for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Lap traffic now a factor as rookie Terry Schwartz making her first start. And we got a caution flag. Andrew Kostelnik did not make it to the pit area, so he is stopped at the low groove of the back straightaway pit gate. Schwartz, the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik. Green flag is back out. 4 down, 4 to go. It appeared under the last stint of green flag racing that Dink Colarusso was reeling in Scott Aiello, and on the restart, Aiello puts about 5 or 6 additional car lengths between himself and the zero. More zeros than you're likely to ever see on the Motordrome scoreboard right now, with Aiello leading Colarusso. Now a challenge for third. Jason Holder in 74 looking to the inside of Jeff Zellweger's 18 car. They are door to door in turn number 4 with 2 laps to go. It's now a 3-car battle there, and the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik is the race car that Dink Colarusso took to the championship last season. While Colarusso rides in second and is losing ground to the leader. White flag in the air, final lap around. Maybe a first career heat race win for Scott Aiello in the 00 car from White Oak, Pennsylvania. He continues to open up that lead. They are single file on the final lap in our first official event of 2010. About to be completed coming out of turn number 4. A first checkered flag in the Napa Street Stocks for Scott Aiello. He gets the win over Dink Colarusso, Jeff Zellweger, Jason Holder, and Andrew Kostelnik. It is Mars, Pennsylvania's Aaron Minjock and Teddy Gabala in row 1. Rookie Matt Sever in 83. Dustin Blank in 94 and Tom Knight in 76. Green flag is out. Heat race number 2 for the Napa Street Stocks is at full speed, headed down the back straight. Minjock in 34 and Gabala in 3. Minjock seeks his first win in this division, although he was a dominating winner in the Chargers, and Gabala in car 3 had been the youngest competitor in this division until that green flag waved as the 83 of Sever, still a teenager, battling with the driver in car 76, who is the exact opposite of a teenager, Tom Knight Sr., and Knight steals the 3rd position away from the division rookie. It's Minjock leading Gabala, then Knight, Sever, and Blank. The 94 machine of Dustin Blank, a fast car all throughout 2009 and a feature winning car. And it does appear that he has a very serious handling problem in the 94 right now. Tom Durdovich in the 23 car moves to the inside to allow the leaders to pass by here on lap number 3 of 8. Durdovich may be heading pit side. Crossed flag signaling halfway for Aaron Minjock in the 34 car. Minjock, we mentioned, being a former dominator of the Charger division. He did compete in the Super Compacts as well very successfully, but had an absolutely memorable career in the Chargers. Minjock Racing fielding several machines, including the race leader right now in this division. They also have Al Minjock in the Charger division. Ed Sheltman, Chris Spadacine, Steve Sheltman, all racing under the Minjock Racing banner, as there are 2 laps to go, and Aaron is about to begin 2010 in grand style, running away at this point from Teddy Gabala in car 3. Gabala's been a top-notch racer the last few seasons here at Motordrome. And he's got a loose race car as the 3 is sideways all the way through turns 3 and 4 with the white flag now displayed. The first heat race of Matt Sever's street stock career is without incident, as he is tucked in behind 3rd place Tom Knight Sr. But coming out of turns 3 and 4, the Minjock Racing Chevrolet number 34, Mars, Pennsylvania's Aaron Minjock takes the checkered flag over Teddy Gabala in 2nd. Tom Knight Sr. in third, Matt Sever in fourth, and Dustin Blank will be coming home to the fifth position. Street stock convert Pat Hanley. And in the car number 17, making his second Motordrome start, J.P. Weiser from Pittsburgh. Green flag is out. Lots of interest this season will be focused on the orange number 60, now driven by Pat Hanley. But up front, Lonie Hoffman, the hometown hero, taking the lead away from the 40 of Brian Shipp. Brian's older brother Bobby is looking for third to the inside of Gary Scott. And with one lap in the record books, the top three machines on the Speedway were all feature winners in 2009. The defending track championship team of Viglione Motorsports in car number 60 with Pat Hanley now at the controls. Hanley looking to move up and take a spot away from the KG veteran Gary Scott. Scott in car 16 has been a feature winner almost every one of the last 8 or 9 seasons except last year, when he competed only on a part-time basis with us in car 16. Lonie Hoffman is out in front, car number 96. Three of 8 laps are now completed. Hoffman running away from the Shipp brothers, younger brother Bobby Shipp in the 40, and older brother Bobby Shipp in car 04 at the halfway point. Now the 60 of Hanley has the inside lane possibly secured, but cannot yet make a move on the 16 of Gary Scott. The number 60 team last season, not only track champions, but also the leading winners with Adam Kostelnik at the wheel a year ago. Lonie Hoffman in car 96, a graduate of the street stock division. Won his first modified feature in 2009, pretty early on in the season, and had a banner year. Likewise, second place runner in car 40, Brian Shipp, also got his first checkered flag of his modified career last season. Bobby Shipp in the 04 was second in the championship point standings a year ago. He rides third right now. He was also second in total feature victories at the end of 2009. The white flag signals final circuit around for the 96 of Lonie Hoffman. Down the back straight, a former dirt track street stock racer who switched to pavement street stocks, then became a top-notch competitor and winner in the modifieds, the hometown hero. Lonie Hoffman from Smithton, PA, takes the checkered flag over Brian Shipp, Bobby Shipp, Gary Scott, and Pat Hanley. Bobby Bentz in 14, Troy Knight in 71, Billy Rebar in 18, and Chris Brink in 3. Bring him to the green flag. Bumper-to-bumper contact there at the start between Knight and Brink. Early race leader is Bentz, who's losing fluid. Caution flag for fluid dumping out of the lead race car, the 14 of Bobby Bentz. Bentz will be asked to head to the pits with a serious fluid leak. Couldn't tell if that was water or gasoline coming out of the 14 car out of turn 2. 9, and we're 2 by 2. Ready for the restart of 8-lap heat race number 2 for the YO Tech Modifieds. A slow pace out of turn 4, and Troy Knight will grab the early lead. And now Troy Knight out in front as Billy Rebar slides back behind the 3 of Chris Brink. Wheel to wheel go Kostelnik in the 00 and Brink, and we're 3 wide in turn 4. Unbelievable in open wheel cars. We somehow make it safely down the front straight, completing lap number 1 despite 3 wide. Battle for the lead, and now wheel to wheel, it's Adam Kostelnik and Chris Brink. Brink on the high side, his preferred groove around the Motordrome Speedway, which took him to victory a couple of times last season. And by a wheel, it's going to be Adam Kostelnik leading on lap number 2 as he reaches the scoring line, just a bumper in front of Brink. Slugging it out wheel to wheel, Kostelnik's first start in this modified. Car driven last season by Harry Opfer with a new paint scheme and new driver and owner. Still glued side by side around the half mile. It's Adam Kostelnik on the inside, Chris Brink on the outside. Side by side battle for third. It's Troy Knight and Billy Rebar. And now Brink squirts ahead of the leader in car 3 on the high side, leaving the inside open for Kostelnik to battle back. They will reach the crossed flags halfway this time. New race leader is Chris Brink by about 1.5 feet. Bobby Bentz returns to pit lane, leaving 4 Wyotech modifieds to duke it out for the final 4 laps of this heat race. Kostelnik on the inside, Brink on the outside. The racing action can't get better than this in the modifieds. After Brink was the leader officially on lap number 4, the lead officially goes back to Adam Kostelnik. Kostelnik was the leading heat race winner last season, as well as the leading feature winner. Brink not giving up yet, using the high side that he prefers. Now he's back a full car length and a half with 2 laps to go. Biggest story of the offseason was the change of drivers in the Viglione Racing number 60. With Pat Hanley at the wheel of that championship team, the championship driver is looking to take a first checkered flag. 1 lap remains. The Howie Bayless Racing number 00. Leading Chris Brink, the Glenn Campbell Gambler in car 3, final time down the back straight. Billy Rebar into the 3rd spot. Troy Knight into 4th, and coming out of turn 4, a checkered flag for the defending champion. Adam Kostelnik gets the win over Chris Brink, Billy Rebar, and Troy Knight. 10 laps the distance for the first NASCAR Subway Super Late Model event of the season. Green flag is out. The NASCAR Subway Super Late Models will reach full speed on the back straight for the first time in 2010. Fighting for the lead in car 95, Gary Wiltrout. To his outside in car 75, Barry Audi. And by inches, it will be Audi leading the first laps of the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series this season. Wiltrout still firmly planted to his inside. The 11 of Bobby Henry, the Palagrudo Motorsports teammate of Wiltrout, riding in 3rd. Now it's a 3-car fight for the lead, and contact nearly made out of turn 2 between Wiltrout 95 and Barry Audi in 75. Here comes Bobby Henry, closing on the rear bumper of his teammate to the inside of Barry Audi, and in 4th position, last season's leading winner in car number 98, Neal Brown. Wiltrout off the pace in a big way at the end of the back straight. He's got a serious problem, and he holds up his teammate trying to get out of the way of the rest of this field. Unbelievable bad break for the Palagrudo team as a mechanical failure on the 95 of Wiltrout takes him out of the lead, and in trying to avoid contact and get that machine to the outside lane, he almost collects his teammate Bobby Henry, sending Henry to the back of the field. Competing for the first time with the Subway Super Late Models tonight, and the green flag is back out. 4 of 10 laps are completed. As we begin to work lap number 5, Neal Brown in car 98, using the lowest possible lane of the speedway, trying to gain those couple of car lengths between himself and race leader Barry Audi. Rick Miller in 3rd in the 18 car at the halfway point of this event. 5 down, 5 to go. It's Audi, Brown, Miller, Bailey, Black, and Henry. This time in turn 4, Brown tightens up to the rear bumper of Audi. Working lap 6 of 10. The Wheeler Brothers, Stoystown Auto Wrecking, number 75 of Barry Audi, out in front of the R&M Trucking Hunters Peterbilt, number 98 of Neal Brown. It's a Chevrolet leading a Ford with 3 laps to go. Then the Hemphill Racing 18 of Rick Miller. Chris Bailey in 4th, and with 2 laps to go, will Brown be able to make a pass on Audi? Brown at the restart was using the lowest lane, now takes a peek to the high side. Audi has several more years of late model competition on his resume than Brown. Brown did some dirt track late model racing for a few seasons recently. Down the back straight, Audi opens up about a car length and a half advantage here on the final lap in turns 3 and 4. Coming to the checkered flag from Jenners, Pennsylvania. Barry Audi will win the first heat race for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models of the season over Neal Brown, Rick Miller, Chris Bailey, and Steve Black. 28 is Dave Wiltsey. 10 laps the distance for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models, and the green flag is out. Side by side for the lead, Mark Poole in 96 and Mark Catone in 31. Todd Price riding third behind the duo of Marks. Then it's Cody Quarrick in the 6. Poole in car number 96 was a championship contender throughout much of 2009 and got several feature wins in that Howard concrete pumping Chevrolet. Currently second on lap 2, the driver who was not as successful as Poole in victory lane, but tallied more points with unbelievable consistency than anyone else last year, Mark Catone, the Mama Pepino's Pizza, Auto Express Transportation 31. Riding in third on lap 3, the Frankie Day Oldies Show, Stoystown Auto Wrecking, number 51 of Todd Price. And on lap 4, a challenge for the lead in turns number 1 and 2. Mark Catone looks to the inside of Poole down the back straight. Poole is able to hold him off for the moment, but Catone, the 3-time and defending track champion, firmly beneath the 96 car coming out of 4, still unable to make a pass. Halfway through this heat race for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models, and a rather heated fight. Two drivers who are very smart and conservative racers battling it out for this heat race victory. Mark Catone in 31, Mark Poole in 96. And hanging right with 2 of last year's top competitors, it's Todd Price in 51. Price looking for a career first win in this division after winning many times in the limited late models at Jennerstown throughout his career. Working lap 7 now. And Catone looked a little loose out of turn 2 that time, but maintains position less than half a car length behind the 96 of Poole. 2 laps to go, also in the top 5, the 6 of young Cody Quarrick and the 37 of Paul Urso, who's been to victory lane in the Subway Super Late Models. White flag displayed to this field, Mark Poole in 96 and Mark Catone. Either one of those guys could still take the checkered flag here on this final lap as Catone looks low. That was the best run Catone has had down the back straight so far. Now let's see if he can continue that run through turn 4. Coming to the checkered flag, it will be Mark Poole getting the victory over Mark Catone. Todd Price with an excellent third place run. Cody Quarrick into 4th, and Paul Urso completing the top 5. Catherine Shimko, a Charger Division rookie this season. 2 females in this field as the green flag waves. John Scott and Kristen Ettling bring the field up to full speed. Ettling, the early race leader in car number 8. Ed Sheltman in car number 20 moving around the Scott 71 car, but now Scott battles back as Sheltman drifts up. Denny Keller in car 13, last season's opening night feature winner, into 3rd. Steve Settle in the 3 car, a feature winner. He's back in 4th, and Garchak in a former dirt track machine, car 44. Last season, the driver of car number 8, Kristen Ettling, was very close to a feature victory on more than one occasion. And now Ettling's number 8 is out in front of Denny Keller, a multiple feature winner in his career. Then John Scott and Steve Settle looking to go side by side here out of turn number 4 in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Working lap number 2 of 6, it's Ettling leading Keller. Then a 3-car battle for 3rd. Steve Settle in the 3, a graduate of the Super Compact Division. Then Garchak in the 44 now moves around front row starter John Scott from Lake Lynn, Pennsylvania. 3 of 6 laps completed. Once again, 2 females in this heat race as Mary Catherine Shimko, doing double duty this season in 2 divisions, has car number 51 out on the speedway. This will be her second start in the Charger division. Kristen Ettling in car number 8. And Denny Keller in 13, storming away from the rest of this field as the white flag signals final lap. Kristen Ettling among the younger drivers in this field. I would suspect that in 2010 we will definitely see her in victory lane after a feature event, but picking up the first heat race of the season in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, it's Kristen Ettling taking the checkered flag over Denny Keller. The 3 of Steve Settle finishing in position number 3, Bob Garchak Jr. in 4th, and John Scott in 5th position. And no start that time as Farrell was a little bit quick on the hammer. For the 3rd in 61, former champion Tracy Keller in the 1, and Jimmy Christoffel in the 04. Green flag is out. 6 laps the race distance for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, and indeed it was not Farrell jumping the start. It was Minjock, and we got contact on the back straight as McConnell may have gotten a tire flattened as Tracy Keller in the 1 is advancing quickly. Side by side with Ron Eifert, the 3rd in 61 now, is the Martinelli's Auto number 1 of Tracy Keller. Leader Zane Farrell, 2nd place Ron Eifert, 3rd place Tracy Keller, and 4th place Jimmy Christoffel. All former winners in this division. They have all gone to victory lane after a feature event. Tonight's feature for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers will be 15 laps in distance, and we are 2 laps in to this second 6-lap preliminary heat race for the Chargers. Farrell opening up a big lead over Eifert, 2 of the youngest drivers in this division. In fact, Farrell will turn 18 years old on April 28th. So before we're back here next Friday night, Zane Farrell turns legal 18. And right now, Ron Eifert III, another young racer feeling the pressure of former champion and veteran Tracy Keller in the 1. Keller from Asheville, Eifert from Scottdale, and they are side by side in turn number 1, working lap 4 of 6. Jimmy Christoffel in the 04 from Jefferson Hills riding in 4th position. Three-car battle soon for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as the white flag waves for teenager Zane Farrell, the R&R Tree Service sponsored entry. On the final circuit now, Eifert was 2nd for most of this race. He's in jeopardy of falling back to 4th as the 04 of Christoffel battles him to the inside on the back straight. And picking up where he left off now, a sophomore driver in car number 14 taking the checkered flag, 17-year-old Zane Farrell picks up the win over Tracy Keller, Jimmy Christoffel, Ron Eifert III, and Ed McConnell completing the top 5. Car is driven by young Bill Schwartz. 23 is the hillbilly Eugene Zerfoss. Green flag is out. Couple of new drivers. The 04 car is Andrew Dutkowitz, and the 96 machine, who last season was more likely to be seen in enduro competition than in. So, we got a serious problem there. Smoke coming out of the 04 of Dutkowitz, one of the brand new drivers and cars out there. A huge puff of smoke coming from the 04. Early race leader is Paul Koffler Jr. from West Leisenring, Pennsylvania. Gonna bring out the caution flag just to make sure that the 04 car heads pit side. Back to green flag racing. Early race leader, a Farmington Speedway former champion, Paul Koffler in the 05, and the 23 of Eugene, the Hillbilly Zerfoss. That's the 23 of Zerfoss. Last season, Hillbilly Zerfoss in car 23, a top-notch competitor. Last season, the 05 of Koffler, a multiple feature winner, and they're going door to door down the back straight. Young Bill Schwartz is holding down the third position. His mother, a street stock competitor this season. Then Mark Seiler in the 96 and Knight in the 78 as we are halfway through this first 6-lap preliminary heat race for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. Zerfoss, the former Jennerstown champion, fighting with the 05 of Koffler, the former Farmington Speedway champion. Schwartz showing major improvement here in the early laps of 2010. That might be a brand new race car, the States Tire and Auto team. And Seiler in the 96 is closing in very quickly on the top three. Zerfoss pulling away from Koffler just a bit. Now look at the 31 of Schwartz challenging for second spot. White flag displayed, final lap around, and Schwartz takes the runner-up position. Heavy smoke now from the Koffler 05 car. We saw Andrew Dukavich, the 04 car, pulling pit side earlier with similar smoke, and now look at this, 3 wide for second. It's Schwartz in the middle, Seiler on the bottom, Koffler up high. Checkered flag will wave. Eugene, the Hillbilly Zerfoss, takes the checkered flag. Nearly a dead heat for second. The 11 of Steven Sheltman starting from 5th position, then Mike George in the 25 as the green flag is out. Want to make mention the 11 car of Steven Sheltman on the speedway right now. Got his driver's license yesterday. After a full season and a half of competing here at Motordrome, he's now legal for the streets in car 11. And Paul Koffler Sr. spinning the number 1 car in turns 3 and 4. That will hand the lead to his grandson, Paul Koffler III. Stays on the gas, the caution flag remains holstered. And 1 of 6 laps now completed. Paul Koffler III, the race leader, Mark Tringes Jr. with a brand new ride in car 47 in second spot. Kevin Keffer in the 14 is third. Tringes in the 47 was about a mid-pack racer last season, and with this brand new race car showing signs of vast improvement, just like we saw in that first heat race from the States Tire and Auto number 3 car of Bill Schwartz. And look at this, 47. Tringes takes over the lead from Koffler III. To go, and Mark Tringes Jr. leading Paul Koffler III. 47 and 48 in appropriate number order at the front of the field. Kevin Keffer in the 14. One more heat still to come for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts as the white flag is displayed for Tringes. This will be a first checkered flag of his career. Final time through turns 3 and 4. 2 of the young Lions in this division. And headed for a career first heat race win in car 47, Mark Tringes Jr. takes the victory over Paul Koffler III. Kevin Keffer, newly licensed driver Steven Sheltman in the 11, and Paul Koffler Sr. in car number 1. Catherine Shimko as a veteran. And in car number 19, Tom Durdovich. Green flag is out. 6 more laps for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts and a host of rookies in this one. Shimko in 44 and 46 of Sean Rich, 2 of the veterans, and they quickly rise to the top of this field. Shimko taking the lead. One of the first laps led for this teenager from Keisterville. Sean Rich in second, side by side. It's the 62 machine of Dale Grubbs Jr. making a pass on the 39 car of Brian Knoll. And 38, June Mihalik. And here on the front straight, the 19 car of Tom Durdovich. And we got a spin. June Mihalik goes around one of the DeWitt Enterprises team cars, joining Dustin Blank and Ed McConnell. And June is able to right that car and continue on. Now lap traffic in front of the leaders. The 19 of Durdovich skirts to the inside as Mary Catherine Shimko, building up a lead now. The 62 car has made a pass of Sean Rich. That's a little surprising. Dale Grubbs Jr. of Connellsville passing a veteran of Sean Rich. And with 3 of 6 laps completed, Mary Catherine Shimko continues to lead. She's now a Charger Division competitor and a racer here in the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. We had Kristen Ettling, a female heat race winner earlier tonight. Might be one of the first times in history that we're on the brink of 2 female heat race winners. And Sean Rich blowing up the engine in a big way. That is a serious blown engine for the 46 of Sean Rich, unfortunately. And with 4 of 6 laps completed, the caution flag will wave for a possible fluid spill. Not what Mary Catherine Shimko wanted to see, as she had this race well in hand by a couple of car lengths over the 62 of Grubbs. 44 of Shimko, bringing the field back up to full speed. Green flag is back out, and Shimko again opens up an advantage of about 3 car lengths over the 62 of Grubbs. 3 heat races for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts tonight with 18 cars in attendance or more. That is track policy. White flag waving, and this time Grubbs gained a couple of car lengths on Shimko. Final lap around. Will it be a first career heat win for Shimko, or a win on first start night for Grubbs coming into turn number 3? The teenager from Keisterville, Pennsylvania, the popular veteran driver in car 44, Mary Catherine Shimko, takes a career first heat race victory over Dale Grubbs Jr. Brian Knoll in 39 and the 38 of June Mihalik. Inside front row mate, rookie Matt Sever, to bring the field up to full speed. Green flag is out. The Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks, 2x2 and nearly 3 wide at the front of the pack. It's Jason Holder with the early lead over Jeff Zellweger, who had that problematic lap 1 of the heat race. Dink Colarusso slides into 3rd as rookie Sever, now back to 4th after starting in 2nd position. He is side by side with heat race winner tonight, Scott Aiello in the 00. Now we're single file through the top 5. And just as I say that, we go door to door on the back straight in the fight for 2nd position. Dink Colarusso to the inside of Jeff Zellweger. Scott Aiello looking to follow Colarusso's 0 machine up into 3rd spot around Zellweger. 2 laps are now in the books. Jason Holder pulling away from this field for the moment, but it's now Aiello into 3rd, Colarusso into 2nd, and look at this, Scott Aiello, looking for a career first win, is door to door with the defending champion for 2nd position, and will take that spot out of turn 4. Drivers getting off the apron of the speedway, some dust kicking up in turns 1 and 2. And look at Aiello charging into the lead around the veteran Holder, but there's a lapped car. Durdovich in the 23 forces 3 wide in turn 4. Unbelievable action early on, and Holder will maintain the lead by just about a fender on lap number 4 from the hard-charging Scott Aiello. Holder drifts up the racetrack and opens the lead. Aiello made that pass with ease with the miscue by Holder coming out of turn number 2. Now he is side by side with Dink Colarusso for second. Problem for Zellweger in car 18. Heavy oil smoke out the header pipes. And after a strong heat race performance, disaster strikes here on opening night for Zellweger. Race leader is Scott Aiello, second place Jason Holder, third Dink Colarusso. Working lap number 6 of 25. And it could be a career first feature victory for Scott Aiello in the 00 car. Jason Holder in car 74 shockingly went winless in 2009 after being a feature winner for several years back consecutively. Then it's Dink Colarusso in third, 57 of Andrew Kostelnik in fourth, the former Dink Colarusso car. Then Aaron Minjock in 34. Aiello having his way with this field, building up an interval of at least 8 car lengths. Meanwhile, Jason Holder seems to be losing ground as now Dink Colarusso powers to the inside in car 0. Holder in 74 on the outside, Colarusso in 0 on the inside. They nearly make contact entering the back straight. Andrew Kostelnik makes it a 3-car battle for third position. Colarusso officially takes over the second position now on lap 10 of 25. Holder's still right there with them. At 57, Andrew Kostelnik now the man on the move. Kostelnik goes up to third, and just as quickly as Holder lost those 2 positions, Aaron Minjock is challenging him for fourth. The pole starter now falling back after leading early on. Aaron Minjock officially grabs the 4th position here on lap 11 to the inside of Holder. Matt Sever in car 83, who started on the front row alongside of Holder, now going door to door with him for 5th position. Durdovich in the 23 forces Sever to pull in behind the 74 of Holder. Working lap 12, and Dink Colarusso in second, moving around the 03 of Terry Schwartz with Andrew Kostelnik in striking distance. This has got to be an unusual fight for Colarusso. The car that he drove to a championship last year is the one in his rearview mirror right now as the crossed flags signal halfway through this first feature event of 2010 for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Scott Aiello, graduate of the Charger division in car 00. Never a regular competitor in the Chargers, more of a sporadic competitor. Same with his street stock career. He has not put together a full season of action just yet. But after winning his heat race here on opening night, he is dominating this feature field with defending champion and leading winner of 2009, Dink Colarusso in second. Andrew Kostelnik, a winner last year in car 57, right on the rear bumper of Colarusso. Then Aaron Minjock advancing through the field in car 34. This time, Andrew Kostelnik had the inside lane possibly secured. Got that car a little bit crossed up, headed into turn 1. So on lap 15, Colarusso continues to hold the runner-up spot. But all of these veteran drivers are losing ground to Scott Aiello in 00. Minjock with a bold high side pass in turn 4. Minjock had the steering wheel cocked to the side and dirt tracked his way around the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik. It's now Minjock in third, and he seems to be gaining on the 0 of Colarusso. He's just about a car length and a half behind the defending champ. And Scott Aiello's lead is half a straightaway here on lap 17 of 25. Minjock started deep in this field and reaches out to touch the rear bumper of Colarusso in the battle for second, with Andrew Kostelnik right there in fourth. lap traffic may force single file on the back straight, and it does. Terry Schwartz in the 03 forces Minjock to back off. He loses just a little bit of space between himself and Colarusso. Scott Aiello is burying this field. Dink Colarusso in second, Aaron Minjock in third, Andrew Kostelnik in fourth. Five laps to go, a heated fight for second spot. There's bumper-to-bumper contact between the 34 of Minjock and the 0 of Colarusso. Meanwhile, back in fifth spot, the rookie Matt Sever in his first start is looking to take a spot away from Holder in 74. Minjock to the inside in turn one, and they make contact. Minjock turning the 0 of Dink Colarusso, and we will have a caution with 4 laps to go in the Napa Street Stocks. Waypoint in all features, and there's the green. The top 4 drivers all racing under a blanket, fighting for position. Holder gets a little loose and loses a couple car lengths to the top 3. Now, will Minjock have to defend the second position instead of fighting for the lead with Aiello? Andrew Kostelnik dives to the inside. Officially on lap 22 by inches, Aaron Minjock was the second place car at the scoring line. Aiello again opens up a big lead in the 00 car. Minjock gains a couple of car lengths in the entry to turn 3 that time. And here's the rookie Sever in his first start, pulling to the inside of Holder for 4th. Matt Sever, the defending Super Compact champion, showing that he is a force to be reckoned with, jumping 2 divisions in the NASCAR Whelen Series ladder. And in his first street stock start, he's wheel to wheel with a winning veteran Jason Holder. White flag signals final lap for Scott Aiello. Sever completes the pass, but now Minjock, the cagey veteran, does he have something for Aiello? Aiello, the heat race winner earlier tonight. Can he pull off a sweep of heat and feature for his first 2 checkered flags in the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks? It will be a first feature win for Scott Aiello in car 00, getting the win over Aaron Minjock, Andrew Kostelnik, Matt Sever, and Dink Colarusso. Got a Subway gift certificate for you here. We'll face the camera on the tower. Scott Aiello, a first career victory. First, let's talk about your career. You've never really been a regular competitor here. About how many starts in this street stock have you made to this point?
4.
Now let's talk about your Charger career. You weren't much of a regular competitor there either. How many Charger starts did you make in your career?
Maybe 15 to 20.
And now here in Victory Lane, let's talk a little bit about this car first. I know it's an AK chassis machine. Let's talk about the machine and tell the fans about that first.
Well, I want to thank Adam for setting this car up last year. 3 times he was in it. It handles excellent. I've never been in nothing that handles so good. I want to thank Howie, too, for letting me drive it.
And now the big question, how does it feel to be in Motordrome Speedway Victory Lane so early in your Napa Street Stock career?
Great, thank you.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the first feature winner of 2010, the Howie Bayless Racing AK Chassis 00, Scott Aiello. And outside, Billy Rebar in car 18. Green flag is out. The Wyotech Modifieds begin the 2010 season at Motordrome Speedway. Charging into second position, it's Gary Scott in the 16. And the 04 of Bobby Shipp, and side by side behind them, the 96 of Hoffman and the 18 of Rebar. But Pat Hanley will lead his first lap of feature racing at Motordrome Speedway. The dirt track street stock ace, Pat Hanley, the new hired gun for Viglione Motorsports, gets the pole position for this feature event and leads his first ever asphalt racing laps. On lap 2 of 25, Adam Kostelnik in the 00 climbs into the 4th position, leaving Bobby Shipp in the 04 to battle with the 3 of Chris Brink. And tonight's heat race winners now 3rd and 4th on the speedway. Lonie Hoffman, who now moves to the outside of Gary Scott, and heat winner Adam Kostelnik in the 00, both challenging Scott for position, and Hoffman will take away the runner-up spot. Oh, Kostelnik gets on the apron of the speedway, a cloud of dust, a shower of sparks. He maintains 4th. Bobby Shipp back to the 5th spot now after he was challenging for 2nd. Something must be amiss on the 04 car. It is not like Bobby Shipp to drop back in feature events, and he is losing a lot of ground to 4th place Adam Kostelnik right now. In fact, his brother Brian is challenging Chris Brink for the 6th position. They make contact. Brink and Shipp got together and forced Billy Rebar to make a veteran-like move. Somehow Rebar saved that car after getting on the binders and tapping the rear of Shipp's machine. Best battle on the speedway is for 3rd. Gary Scott in 16, holding the position. Adam Kostelnik in his first start, the 00 car, wants to move up to a podium position. And here on lap 7 of 25, Kostelnik has the inside lane, but will not have enough horsepower to pull off a pass headed down the back straight. Race leader Pat Hanley in car number 60 for Viglione Racing shows the way as Lonie Hoffman in the 96 is very close to making a move for a win. Hoffman's first career win came early in the going in 2009. And here on a reasonably chilly night in April, he may have a better handling race car than Pat Hanley does right now. They nearly make contact in turn 4, but the running order remains Hanley in the 60, Hoffman in the 96, Scott in the 16, and Kostelnik in the 00. Now the challenge for the lead finds Lonie Hoffman looking to the inside of the 60 car. Again, they nearly make contact in turn 3, but Pat Hanley holds him in, and now Hanley gets crossed up entering the front straight. The winning dirt track street stock driver on lap number 10 fishtails the Viglione Racing entry. And now with that miscue, Lonie Hoffman takes over the lead. The hometown hero out in front. Hanley in 2nd, Gary Scott in 3rd, Adam Kostelnik in 4th, and now Bobby Shipp in the 04 finds some new life. He was dropping back early in this event. Now he's up to challenge Kostelnik, who's challenging Scott for 3rd. Kostelnik diving to the inside. Gary Scott on the outside, fighting for 3rd and closing in quickly on Hanley as both of those cars. Working lap 12 of 25. And Hanley may be one of the slower moving cars in this pack of now 6 machines fighting for 2nd through 7th. Lonie Hoffman is opening up a big lead. Now Kostelnik passes his former ride for 2nd. Bobby Shipp slides into 3rd. Gary Scott got caught on the outside lane, and Scott will lose 4 positions in 1 lap as Hanley is drifting backwards. Chris Brink moves up, Brian Shipp moves up. Wholesale changes in the top 10. Leader Lonie Hoffman with nearly a half straightaway advantage begins to work lap 14 of 25. Adam Kostelnik is now in 2nd position. In 3rd spot, Bobby Shipp. In 4th, Chris Brink. In 5th, it's Brian Shipp. An early race leader. Back to 6th now is Pat Hanley. Back to 7th is Gary Scott, who was running in the top 3 for most of this event. Scott moves around Hanley. And on lap 15, Adam Kostelnik in the 00 is having serious problems getting out of turn number 1 and into turn number 2. The Howie Bayless 00 car is very unstable in the center of turns 1 and 2. Nevertheless, he holds off Bobby Shipp, who seemed to have handling problems early in this event. Shipp has rallied back to 3rd. Chris Brink is 4th. Brian Shipp is 5th. And it looks like perhaps all of these cars are gaining just a bit on Hoffman. We got a caution flag in turn number 2. Gary Scott spins the 16 car. Side by side on lap 16 of 25. Hoffman gets a break on the rest of the field, and there will be no start that time. Start will be waved off as Hoffman jumped on the loud pedal a little bit early. Break in fourth. So many stories in this field with the driver changes. Green flag is back out. Wheel to wheel all the way through turn 1 and turn 2. It's Hoffman and Kostelnik fighting for the top spot. Both were multiple feature winners in 2009, as were the drivers in third and fourth, Bobby Shipp and Chris Brink to his outside. Hoffman now secures the point position with about a 2.5 car length advantage on lap 17. Chris Brink, the Glenn Campbell gambler, using his standard outside lane, trying to fend off Bobby Shipp. Brink now advancing after Shipp had battled back from early race handling problems. They are wheel to wheel for a full lap around the Motordrome Speedway, and now Brink breaks through. Brink nearly a full car length ahead of Shipp at the scoring line on lap 18. Lonie Hoffman, the race leader in car 96. Just like Pat Hanley, Hoffman was a dirt track street stock racer early in his career, then switched to the pavement of Motordrome Speedway with his street stock, and last year became a winning modified driver after a couple of seasons aboard the Al Civic machines here in the open wheel modified, sponsored by Wyotech. Now it's the Shipp brothers in fourth and fifth. It's Chris Brink all by himself in third. Adam Kostelnik in second. And with 5 laps to go, Lonie Hoffman is increasing his lead over this field. We got a spin on the back straight. Billy Rebar goes around in the 18. Troy Knight makes some evasive moves to avoid that spun car, and we'll stack them back up double file with 5 to go. Green flag is back out. Side by side, they roar into turn number 1. It was only on the restart last time that Kostelnik was able to hang with Hoffman. Now let's see if he can muster enough on this restart to complete a pass and possibly defend the inside lane. Hoffman drifts up the banking just a bit and forces Kostelnik to back off the throttle. There's contact on the front straight between Chris Brink and Brian Shipp. Now Pat Hanley gains a position. He threads his way between Brian Shipp and now closes on the 3 of Brink. Hoffman's lead is now about 4 car lengths and seems to be increasing. Now beginning to work lap 22 of 25. Single file in the top 5, 6 positions. Chris Brink in the 3 looking to pull to the high side of the back straight. A possible challenge for third on the Bobby Shipp 04 car, but it looks like Hoffman is increasing his interval over Kostelnik and the rest of this field as the 2 lap to go signal is given, and Brian Shipp is off the pace in turn 4. Brian Shipp in car 40 slowed dramatically from the top 5 here on lap 23 as we are side by side for third. Chris Brink in the 3 moving to the outside of the 04 of Bobby Shipp. White flag displayed for Lonie Hoffman. Brink will take away the 3rd spot. Some smoke out of the Kostelnik 00 on the final lap. Brink gets loose in the Kostelnik oil. He will surrender 3rd spot to Shipp. And coming through turns 3 and 4, another modified victory for the hometown hero. Lonie Hoffman takes the checkered flag over Adam Kostelnik, Bobby Shipp, Chris Brink, and Pat Hanley. Now here's the conclusion I'm coming to. You had an early season win last year, you had a late season win. Does your 96 car like the cold weather and colder tire temperatures here at Motordrome?
You know what, you might be right. We come out here on practice day and this thing didn't handle as good as it did on a cool night like tonight, so we're going to have to look into that because I know it's going to get hotter.
We were talking a little bit about your career with Pat Hanley, a dirt track street stock driver, making his first start in this field. That's who you had to wrestle the lead from. What was it like when you switched over from dirt track to asphalt street stocks? Do you remember that transition, and do you have any advice for him?
I do. I remember that, and it seems like on the asphalt you got to be a little bit more patient. If you slip, you fall. I mean, you can make a mistake on the dirt and gather it back up, but on the asphalt, you're going home a loser. So.
Well, you're certainly not going home a loser tonight. How about a chance to thank all the sponsors and crew that made this win possible?
I got to thank Scrinny's Auto, Duke of Oil, Bruce's Kids World, who sells the ice cream out of the ice cream truck up there. Bruce, if you're here, told me to mention you. All the fans for coming out. Got to thank my pit crew, my brother-in-law Dave, my wife Sandy, everybody that helps on the car. Complete Car Company, they're new this year. We just don't have the decals done yet, but they'll be on for next week.
And next week, he'll be coming in as the defending winner of the Wyotech Modifieds. Ladies and gentlemen, the hometown hero, Lonie Hoffman. And the 6 of Cody Quarrick, green flag is out. The NASCAR Subway Super Late Models are in action for 2010. Early race leader is Steve Black. Some shuffling inside the top 5. Bailey in second spot, and Rick Miller challenging Urso for third. Keep in mind, regular feature distance is 50 laps, and tonight split into twin 25s. For the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models, it's Steve Black over Chris Bailey, Paul Urso, Rick Miller, Neal Brown. And currently in 6th, the Subway Challenge driver of the night, Barry Audi. Steve Black, one of the veteran campaigners in several divisions here at Motordrome, and Chris Bailey Jr., one of the youngest in this field in car 17. Bailey raced more than half a season with us as a super late model rookie a couple seasons ago, and then has spent his time racing at the Lake Erie Speedway. Oh, Black gets crossed up coming out of turn 4. Bailey avoids contact, but is not able to capitalize here on lap 4 to take the lead away. Black gets loose again. There's contact at the front. Steve Black, with serious rear damage, continues out in front of the field. Bailey was able to gather it back up. I can't believe after a hit that hard that Steve Black will be able to maintain this lead. It has to be more than just the body damage we can see here on lap 5. Steve Black with a crunched fender, and Chris Bailey Jr. still hanging on to second. Unbelievable that those drivers still hold the top spots after that contact. Bailey also with a crinkled front fender, but it looked to me like Black's car was possibly knocked out of rear end alignment with that contact. Nevertheless, he stays at the head of this field. Bailey now feeling some pressure from Paul Urso in car 37, the former division rookie of the year. Then it's Neal Brown, last year's leading winner, and look at this, Barry Audi charging up to the inside of Brown. Tonight's Subway Challenge driver, Audi, door to door with Neal Brown behind Paul Urso. 3 cars fighting for the 3rd position now. Couple of division rivals nearly making contact back there for the 6th and 7th position. That's Bobby Henry and Mark Catona. Look at this action. Unbelievable trading of positions. Urso, Bailey, and Brown. That was incredible action here on lap 8. Now working lap number 9. Cars were sideways, swapping positions. Action settles down just a bit now with Henry and Urso fighting it out for the 4th position, with Brown now taking over the runner-up position. The damaged Chris Bailey 17 car hangs on to 3rd, but last year's leading winner, Neal Brown from Acme, Pennsylvania, is into the runner-up spot. Bobby Henry is in 4th after some crazy racing back there with Catone. The big loser on that wild shuffle was Barry Audi, who dropped back about 4 or 5 positions. Steve Black continues to lead despite damage on his Toyota number 1. Neal Brown with the Davies Ford in 2nd spot. Chris Bailey's Taylor-sponsored Chevrolet now gets a little rear bumper contact from Bobby Henry here on lap number 12. The Bailey and Henry battle may be interrupted by the lapped car of Dave Wiltsey. We weren't single file for long. Henry back with his nose to the inside of the rear bumper of Bailey. Will they make contact? Very close racing in turns 1 and 2. Bobby Henry will steal the 3rd position down the back straight, and Barry Audi will follow suit. Audi had passed Henry not too many laps ago, and then got shuffled back in that wild action on lap 8. Now we're on lap 14 with Barry Audi climbing into the 4th position. Oh, Gary Wiltrout way off the pace with another rear end problem, it would appear. Race lead has tightened up here on lap 15, only 10 to go in the first of the twin 25s for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. And Neal Brown moves to the outside of Steve Black. Black holding the inside lane despite the damage and making a masterful save from contact early in this event. Door to door at the scoring line by inches, it is Neal Brown taking over the point position on lap 16. Brown will now secure a full car length, maybe 3 car lengths advantage. Down the back straight and into turn 3. Steve Black back to the second position. Brown the race leader. Bobby Henry in third. Barry Audi in fourth. In fifth position, defending a 3-time champ Mark Catone. With Mark Poole in sixth. Todd Price in seventh. Chris Bailey back to eighth. Rick Miller in ninth and Paul Urso in 10th, the front row starter. Paul Urso heads to the pits after starting this event up front. Urso pulling in parallel to the trailer, indicating his night is over. And here on lap 18, it's Neal Brown leading Steve Black. Bobby Henry a distant third with Barry Audi in fourth. Tonight's procedure, the same 4 tires that are used for this feature must be used for the next one for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Only 5 laps remaining. Leader Neal Brown on the back straight, headed to the rear bumper of Joe Moose to put him a lap down. On lap 21, Steve Black looking for a career first feature victory. The Greensburg veteran hanging on to second position in spite of what looked like serious damage. Bobby Henry in third. Barry Audi in fourth. Audi finished second in the championship point standings a year ago to Mark Catone. Catone is in the 5th position right behind Audi with 3 laps remaining. Race leader in turns 3 and 4, getting the signal of 2 laps to go. Sorry, the white flag waving. We're on lap 24, this quick 25 lapper. Neal Brown, the leading feature winner of 2008, the leading feature winner of 2009, the veteran from Acme, Pennsylvania. On opening night 2010, will take the checkered flag over Steve Black with a career best 2nd place finish. Bobby Henry coming home in 3rd, the former champion. 4th, it's Barry Audi, and 5th, defending champion Mark Catone. Well, Neal, we know a 25-lap feature is quick, but man, that thing was over in a heartbeat. There was a little bit of chaos there about the midpoint of the event. Where were you when guys were trading positions left and right all in one corner?
I really don't know. It happened pretty quick, and I can't thank my crew enough. Jim Alborn, he does a great job with this race car, and he works on it by himself, and I can't say enough to him. And I'd like to thank Penske Racing Shocks for their support and Port City Racing Chassis. But most, I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a place to race. And next week, bring a friend, please.
We got a Subway gift certificate for you here with that big win. Now, last year when you won your first feature, I said, what did you guys do to the car over the winter that made it so quick? You said, well, we washed it. Doesn't even look like you washed it this year. Is this thing exactly the way it was put on the trailer after last season?
Oh, except for nut and bolting it and maybe putting a few bearings on it here or there, but that's about it.
And now for the bad news. Congratulations on your great win. You've got to start 10th in the second 25 lapper. This format's going to be pretty exciting for the fans, but I know to you drivers it's got to be a strategy game.
I will give it 110%, see what happens.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The leading winner of last season returns to victory lane, Neal Brown. Pace vehicle off the speedway, 15 laps. Bob Garchak Jr. and Ron Eifert III lead him to the green flag And the first Pro Auto Supply Service Charger feature of the season is underway and nearly 4 wide. That's an unbelievable turn 1. Now we're 3 wide on the back straight. That is some nerve-wracking action right there, and Ron Eifert III is out in front of all of it. Jimmy Christoffel is into the 2nd position. Denny Keller in 13 started right alongside his cousin Tracy, but he's a few positions ahead right now in 3rd. Kristen Ettling, the heat race winner, is 4th. Then it's Tracy Keller and Bob Garchak side by side for the 5th spot. Race leader Ron Eifert III was a feature winner in the Young Guns, which is a teenage division of our Coca-Cola Super Compacts. Then moved on last year to the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, got himself a feature victory. Jimmy Christoffel is 2nd. Denny Keller is 3rd. Kristen Ettling is 4th. Challenge now for 3rd spot. Ettling on the outside. Keller on the inside. Ettling looking for a career first feature win. In fact, she is the only racer in the top 5 right now that has no feature victory on her resume. Tonight could change all of that for the popular young lady in car number 8. So close last season on several occasions to a career first win. Still Ettling door to door with the winning veteran Denny Keller. Has a good run out of turn 4 this time. And at the scoring line, Kristen Ettling by half a car length on lap 5 of 15 will take over the 3rd position. Meanwhile, Jimmy Christoffel in the 04 had caught right up to the rear bumper of the 61 of Eifert. He will do so again as they roar past the 51 of division rookie Mary Catherine Shimko. And now look at Denny Keller battling back on Ettling. Battles all over the speedway. On lap 6, the lead fight. Jimmy Christoffel on the inside. Ron Eifert III on the outside. And again, Christoffel's car loose handling enables Eifert to hang on to the lead. But now Ettling and Keller have joined this battle. It could be a 4-car fight for the lead in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. We were nearly 3 wide for 2nd that time. Now Christoffel has the front fender inside of Eifert. And Kristen Ettling is fighting for 2nd. Now Christoffel can't worry about the leader. He's got Kristen Ettling trying to wrestle away the runner-up spot. Outstanding action. Eifert drifts way too high in turns 3 and 4. 3 wide for the lead. And now door to door up front, it's Christoffel in the 04, Ettling in the 8. Eifert loses about 4 spots. Christoffel makes contact with Ettling. She makes a great save. Denny Keller's back up to 3rd. Unbelievable action on lap 8 of 15. Zane Farrell moving up from the rear of this field to put his number 14 car in between the Keller cousins that are riding 3rd and 5th right now. Ettling, the race leader, finally puts some distance between herself and the rest of this field. The biggest lead of anybody so far in this exciting 9 laps of Charger competition. Christoffel continues to get loose in turn 4. That time, Denny Keller touched the apron of the racetrack. 5 laps remaining. And Zane Farrell has made his way past early race leader Eifert. He's made his way past former champion Tracy Keller and the multi-feature winning rookie a year ago, Farrell. 17 years old, challenging to the outside of Denny Keller. Now Keller challenges the 04 of Christoffel for 2nd, and all of this allows Kristen Ettling to run away with the lead. It's Ettling by about 1/3 of a straightaway, then Christoffel, then Keller, then Farrell, then Keller. Eifert hangs on to the 6th position after leading much of this event. 3 laps to go, and that was an incredible first 10 laps of a feature event. Kristen Ettling, the race leader. Jimmy Christoffel in 2nd. 3rd is Denny Keller. Fourth, Zane Farrell, and fifth, Tracy Keller, with 2 laps to go. A heated fight for second position. Keller on the inside of Christoffel. Denny Keller's been able to hold off Zane Farrell, as it looked like Farrell was capable of passing every car on the speedway. Keller doing a masterful job now. On the final lap, the white flag is waving. Contact in the battle for third on the front straight, but on the back straightaway, with a lead of almost half of a straight, the popular young woman headed to Motordrome Victory Lane for the first female win in many seasons here in Smithton. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Ettling picks up the checkered flag in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers over Jimmy Christoffel, Denny Keller, Zane Farrell, and Tracy Keller. Kristen, last season there were about 4 or 5 times that it looked like you could have landed here in Victory Lane. Let's talk about last season and some of the disappointments of coming oh so close so often.
Well, you know, they come really close there. You know, I'm in the front, and it just, I don't know, they always seem to hit me when I'm up in the front. So it feels really good to win. I want to thank my fans for supporting me, and my dad and everybody. I want to thank my sponsors. It just feels really great to finally win this year.
As close as you were last year, I know a win would have felt great no matter what, but does it feel a little better having to work for it the way you did, to find a way around Ron Eifert, 3 wide racing up there? As a racer, I bet you wouldn't have it any other way. You didn't want to cruise to a big victory your first time, did you?
No, not at all. But it felt good. I think this year, with last year learning where my line is, where I'm racing, so I think I found my line on asphalt. So hopefully it'll be a good year this year.
Coached to Victory Lane by the former car owner Jimmy Stokes. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time at Motordrome Speedway, Kristen Ettling, a feature winner. The 04, Andrew Dukovic. The 11, Steven Sheltman. Green flag is out for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts feature event number 1 of 2010, and we're going to be nearly 3 wide for the lead. Call it 4 wide for second. Kevin Keffer is the early race leader, more 3 wide on the back straight. It's Livingston on the inside. Koffler in the middle, Tringes on the outside. Koffler, the third, meanwhile, is side by side for the lead with the 14 of Keffer, and will take the lead on lap 1. Oh, very close racing with Knight and 31 Schwartz diving all the way to the bottom. So far, the biggest mover in this event is clearly the 31 of young Bill Schwartz, the McKeesport driver in the States Tire and Wheel entry, taking away positions from Koffler, Kefler, and now from the 96 of Livingston. That Bill Schwartz Cavalier is on a mission as he dives to the inside of the 48 of Koffler, the third. New leader on the back straight is Bill Schwartz. Let's see if he can make it official on the scoring line here to work lap number 3, and it is. Bill Schwartz now the leader. We got a spin. Grubbs goes around in turn 3. Dale Grubbs Jr. of Connellsville spins. See if we need the caution flag. No, he pulls away from his own incident, and the green flag stays out. Coming up next, 25 more laps of the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Race leader is Bill Schwartz. He started mid-pack and stormed through this field like a maniac. Still not a scratch on that car as he is leading on lap 4 of 15 over Eddie Livingston. Driving the Mark Seiler 96, Paul Koffler the third. Then the battle for 4th, it's Paul Koffler Jr. and the 23 of Eugene, the Hillbilly Zerfoss. 47 of Mark Tringe is a part of that 3-car battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th now. Coca-Cola Super Compact 4-cylinder race cars, with young Bill Schwartz perhaps headed for a first career victory. Already tonight, we have had 2 first career feature wins, that being Scott Aiello in the Napa Street Stocks, Kristen Ettling in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. And if Bill Schwartz can hang on, he will be our third first-time winner of the night. Not to mention that if second place Eddie Livingston hangs on, he would be a first-time winner. Not to mention if third place Paul Koffler III gets the win, it would be his career first. All three drivers pacing this field right now have never been to victory lane. Back and forth, it's Eugene the Hillbilly Zerfoss. He's been a winner at Motordrome and Jennerstown in his career. As they move around the lap car of Grubbs, leader Schwartz reaches the scoring line to begin working lap number 9. And an opportunity for the 96 of Livingston as the 19 car, driven by Tom Dukovic, slowed the leaders down just a bit. Now it's Koffler and Livingston battling for second. That's only going to help Schwartz to build up his lead. More lap traffic as the 38 car of June Mihalik goes a lap down to Schwartz. Now look at Zerfoss, challenging in his 23 car, taking away third spot from Koffler, and now moving very close to the rear bumper of the 96 of Livingston. Here in the late stages of this event, the Hillbilly is on the move. Eugene Zerfoss in the 23. Seemed that he was rather content or maybe ill handling and just kind of hung around the 5th position there for a while. Now he storms into 3rd. He's challenging for 2nd. May not have enough time to reel in leader Schwartz, however. Zerfoss moves to the inside of Livingston, this time on the front straight. Nice new coat of paint on that 23 Ford Probe. 3 laps to go. Zerfoss, the man on the move. Schwartz, the dominant car tonight so far. He looked super strong in his heat race, and now blowing away the feature. He's got like an 8 car length lead maybe on the front straight right now. And he's only building that advantage when there's no lap traffic in front of him. 96 of Livingston hangs on to the 2nd position, would be a career best finish for him. It's Koffler in 4th behind Zerfoss, and Mark Tringes Jr. having an outstanding first run in that new Neon number 47. White flag is waving for young Bill Schwartz of McKeesport. Lap traffic will not be a factor in this one. Zerfoss may not be able to challenge for 2nd here on the final lap. Headed into turns 3 and 4 for the 3rd time tonight on opening night 2010. A first career feature victory. It's Bill Schwartz in the States Tire 31 taking the victory over the 96 of Eddie Livingston, the 23 of Eugene Zerfoss, the 48 of Paul Koffler III, and the 47 of Mark Tringes Jr. Well, Bill Schwartz, a Subway gift certificate for you, the feature winner plaque. First question I have for you, noticeable improvement from the drop of the green in the heat race. Is this a brand new car, or did you retool last year's ride?
A little bit of retooling, thanks to the Bacalons, and my dad, of course, for supplying all the money, and my mom for being there for moral support.
No, wait. Now, you mentioned the Bacalons and your mom. Yeah. A lot of moms are here for support. Your mom is doing a little bit more than that with the Bacalon car this year. Let's talk about that for a minute.
She's racing it this year. She's racing street stock. She just actually learned how to drive a stick last week. Now she's out here with a street stock racing cars, so that's not your typical thing you see your mother doing, but hey, I gotta be proud for her because she's my mom and I'm glad I have her.
Now, when you first started your career, you shared the driving of this car with her. Is she gonna share the street stock with you at any point this season?
I don't think I'm that fortunate.
And how about a chance to thank the sponsors for this first career win?
I'd like to thank my dad, States Tire, Pizza and Gyro Express, my mother, and of course, all the Bacalons and everyone that helps out with the cars day in and day out. Weekly, we do this all the time. And Nick Bacalon, he put a lot of hard work into this car, and I have to thank him too.
For the first time in victory lane, a dominating performance tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Schwartz. 25 more laps for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Cody Quarrick and Chris Bailey Jr. lead them out of turn number 4 at a snail's pace to the green flag. Chris Bailey Jr., the Lake Erie Speedway campaigner, now running a full schedule at Motordrome Speedway, the early race leader. Todd Price in second, Mark Catone in third, Cody Quarrick back in fourth spot, then Rick Miller in fifth. Side by side, Mark Poole and Bobby Henry as Henry scoots up the banking after what looked like there was some contact. We're 3 wide, can't do that into turn 3. Neal Brown wisely backs off as Barry Audi and Mark Poole go side by side. Up front challenge for the lead results in contact. Todd Price in 51 gets into the rear quarter of 17 Bailey, and we got a problem on the front straight. Bobby Henry rolls to a stop in car 11. Michael Zombar heads to the pits. A dismal evening for Paula Grudo Motorsports as Bobby Henry in his car 11 now slows on the speedway after rear end trouble for his teammate Gary Wiltrout has plagued that team all evening. Team of Rick Miller in fifth, then Barry Audi, Mark Poole, Neal Brown. Green flag is back out. Gary Wiltrout makes a pit stop, rejoins the field. Side-by-side battle for fifth. It's Barry Audi taking a spot away from Rick Miller. And up front, the lead battle intensifies. 2 drivers looking for career first wins into turn number 1, door to door. Todd Price, the former limited late model ace at Jennerstown Speedway. And Chris Bailey, the recent Lake Erie Speedway Rookie of the Year and former National Bandoleros champion, holding on to the lead by about a fender at the scoring line. On lap 4, it's still Bailey up front. Catone in car 31 has been able to close in on this battle thanks to the hard-fought duel at the front. Barry Audi gains another position, moving around the 6 of Cody Quarrick into 4th. Now it's the 51 Motorsports entry of Todd Price up front. Price grabs the lead on lap number 5. The Stoystown Auto Wrecking Frankie Day Oldies Show, D&D Office Plus number 51 of Todd Price from Alum Bank, Pennsylvania, leading Mark Catone in the 2nd position. Chris Bailey in 3rd and Barry Audi advancing quickly. He is now in the 4th position, working lap 6 of 25. Barry Audi slides to the inside of young Chris Bailey. Audi is now into 3rd and Mark Poole is coming up quickly on the youngster. Out of turn 4, Mark Catone puts the nose of his 31 inside of the 51, driven by Todd Price. Catone in the Mama Pepino's Auto Express Transportation 31. His victory last season en route to the championship was very early in the season in weather conditions similar to this. Eight laps are now completed. 3-car breakaway from the rest of the field. Todd Price, Mark Catone, and Barry Audi. Price is no stranger to leading laps. He races at the front regularly, just has not kicked down the door to a first checkered flag yet. Finding himself up front with 2 of the most veteran NASCAR Subway Super Late Model racers in this field. Catone, the 3-time Motordrome champ, and Barry Audi, the Jennerstown and Clearfield Speedways champion. A very respectful battle for the lead between Catone and Price. Catone holds the inside lane, not forcing the issue in spite of the fact that this is only a 25-lap affair. Cool tempers are prevailing at this point with Audi in 3rd aboard the Wheeler Brothers, Stoystown Auto Wrecking 75, and Mark Poole gaining some ground now. The Howard Concrete Pumping, Donaldson-sponsored Chevrolet number 96, pulling up to the rear bumper of Audi, and now lap traffic will play into the lead battle. Catone must tuck in completely behind Todd Price as they move around the 28 of Dave Wiltsey. Crossed flags halfway through. First 25 lapper is caution free. And here on lap 13, Catone looks to the outside that time, headed down the back straight. Thinks better of it, pulls back in line. Now Neal Brown Winner of event number 1 is right there with Mark Poole. 5 cars breaking away from the rest of this field on lap 14. Catone now commits to the high side through 1 and 2. Loses a couple of car lengths to leader Todd Price. Barry Audi in third. None of the top 5 forcing the issue at this point as we have 10 laps remaining. Opening night 2010. 2 opportunities to earn points for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Model Championship at Motordrome and in the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series. Price feeling the pressure of Catone, less than a car length off his rear bumper. Catone again commits to the high side out of 2. Nothing doing now but a challenge for 4th spot. Neal Brown opens the inside lane beneath the 96 of Mark Poole. Poole will hold the position officially on lap 17 by inches at the scoring line. We got a caution flag. In turn 4, Dave Wiltsey has spun to the inside retaining wall. And since we are after halfway, a double file restart coming up. He restarts from 5th with Rick Miller, the 3-time champion, to his outside. Green flag is out. Todd Price and Mark Catone back up to full speed in turn 1 on lap 17 of 25. Price able to hold off Catone on the all-important restart. Now Barry Audi may be looking to the inside of Catone. Price gets the car crossed up a little bit out of 4, but not enough of a miscue that anyone can capitalize. 7 laps remaining. Battle for 3rd, Mark Poole on the outside, trying to hold off the advances of 10th place starter Neal Brown. Both of them closing in on Barry Audi, who was once right on Catone's rear bumper. The question becomes, has Catone gotten faster or has Audi gotten slower? Because if Catone has gotten faster, Todd Price is going to have his hands full with a KG veteran and champion, trying to keep him out of victory lane and prevent that first career win for 51 Motorsports and Todd Price. 5 laps to go. The always patient, always smart and conservative Mark Catone. Todd Price looking for his first win in super late model racing. Those 2 drivers are pulling away from a battle between Barry Audi and Neal Brown here on lap 21. Brown dives to the inside. Audi is backing up from the lead duo. Brown continues to advance. Mark Poole is 5th. Now Todd Price slips up about half a groove, and Catone is nipping at his spoiler with just 3 laps to go. Price's car owner, Dave Mans, told me earlier tonight, now that we have our number, we think that's going to bring us good luck. And although he's led numerous feature laps in his career here at Motordrome, he has never been so close to a win as the 2 lap to go signal is given to Todd Price. Mark Catone tested the outside lane earlier in this event. And with Neal Brown sliding into 3rd, Catone seems determined to make his move on the inside. In turn 4, the white flag is waving. Catone is not able to mount a challenge. On a night that has produced so far 3 first-time career feature winners with a brand new number on the side of the car, consistent with the family's rich racing history. Alum Bank, Pennsylvania's Todd Price picks up his first career win in the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models, holding off defending champion Mark Catone in 2nd, Neal Brown in 3rd, Barry Audi in 4th, and Mark Poole in 5th. Well, Todd Price, let's talk for just a minute about the car number here, because I talked to your owner earlier this evening, and Dave Mann said, I think having our number on the car is going to bring us good luck. Let's talk a little about that and what happened over the winter.
They've got this 51 Motorsports got their 51 back, and it seems to be working quite well.
Even working better than the numbers, the handling of this race car. You held off the defending champion. The car didn't seem to slip at all in that entire 25-lap feature. Tell us how it felt tonight, different from any other night behind the wheel.
This is our first night in the car. We bought the car used off of Gary Wiltrout and them, and it's really helped us out.
Now, your career, you've been to Victory Lane before, limited late models at the Jennerstown Speedway, but coming here to Motordrome, it's taken a little while to get here. Did you think you would ever reach this point, or do you think it'd be quicker?
I was hoping to be a little bit quicker, but we visited here in the trucks, and it's nice to be back here on the front stretch again.
And a chance to thank your sponsors and crew.
I'd like to thank Frankie Day Show, D&D Office Products, Stoystown Auto Wreckers, Man's Medical Supplies, and Whalen for putting this show on for us.
After all this time and coming to Motordrome and now part of a family operation, how does it feel to stand here at Motordrome Victory Lane?
I was glad to finally get the late model win.
There he is in the NASCAR Subway Super Late Model Victory Lane for the first time, Todd Price.